Hello.
Hi.
And welcome back to another episode of Break Room Banter.
It is a hairstylist adjacent podcast
where each week,
two friends
who happen to be hairstylists,
break down our weeks in the break room.
I'm your host, Hunter Walden.
And I am your hostess, Ericka the Red.
And this week, we're going to pick up where we left off.
Yes.
But before we do that, how was your week?
I don't really want to tell you about it. I thought we weren't doing that this time.
Oh.
My week was good because I've been watching Shiny Happy People, and this series is nuts. But yeah.
My week was also good. I colored my hair.
You did color your hair.
I colored it
I saw
a
that
week
on
ago.
Instagram.
But I had other things to discuss.
Yes. I have also brought a piece of show and tell, actually, that I want to bring.
Okay.
So
I have brought this that I want to bring.
This right here. And this box is...
If you're not watching on YouTube,
tune into YouTube so you can see it. So this box is...
that looks like something dirty.
Rude. My mom sent me this. This is something that I got from when my grandma passed away and they were cleaning out the house. So these are my grandpa's clippers, like for a haircut. Like this is what clippers used to look like before. Let's see this way. Put it in front of the black. You can see before they had batteries and Babyliss and all this stuff. These are, I think they're, I don't know.
Are they wall brand?
I don't know what they are. But these were my grandpa's clippers, and like you like literally squeeze them like you would shears.
That's so cool.
Isn't that crazy? So they had this, and then there was a pair of shears and comb. And my cousin Tyler, my cousin's son Tyler, that's a hairdresser down there in California. He took those, and I took these. I was like, I just love them, but I wanted to put them here.
Oh my god!
As like decoration.
That is so...
Because where the heck else? They're going to be in like a box at my house. But I just thought it'd be cool to keep them in here. Since we're hairstylist adjacent and all. We can find a cool spot for them somewhere, but... That's my show and tell piece. So I have no idea how old they are, but they're at least like, I think...
really old.
Pretty freaking old. They're at least as old as my grandpa was. So he would be like, gosh... He would be 90-something now, too, if he were still around. I think he's older than my grandma was, but he died like 20 years ago. So, 15, something like that. But
we'll say they're a century old.
they're a century old.
There's our title. The one with the century-old clippers.
There you go. So, yeah, that is that. And then Shiny Happy People. That's what we're going to talk about.
So, we picking up right where we left off last episode.
If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime.
Uh-huh.
And it's about the Duggar family, which was 19 kids and counting, which I totally watched that show back in the day.
But it didn't start off as 19 kids and counting. It started off with like mini series
exactly, like specials here and there, and it goes through like how they caught the eye of, the Discovery Channel or TLC or whatever it was.
Because TLC is, like, if you don't know, it stands for the Learning Channel.
Yeah.
So it used to be, like, doctor shows, like...
Yeah. I used to be watching plastic surgery on TLC when I was a kid. Like, I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, to learn about stuff. And then the Duggars kind of introduced this, like, reality TV
they, like, kind of
series.
Changed the direction of the
it made it a little more absurd.
Yeah, well, and then along came John and Kate +8 and, like, all those other TV shows. Well, and now they have, like, My 600-Pound Life and all that other craziness that is now what is on that network. But to me, like, I guess I figured I knew they had to be some sort of, like, fundamentalist, like, religion, you know what I mean? And I'm not here to bash anyone's faith system, but it is crazy when you dig deep into some of those and see all the madness that is going on and, like, Well,
they followed the teachings of, what's his name? Michael Gothard?
Gothard, I thought it was. Yeah.
Something like that. And so like their philosophy was that you should have as many children as your body would allow.
Yeah.
And like the wife is very subservient to the husband, yada yada. But I was listening to this podcast, the Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald, and she mentioned that the pastor of that, like the leader or whatever, never was married and never had children.
So I'm only on like halfway through the second episode or the third episode, I think. And that's what they had just been talking about, that like he never even had a wife or whatever, but he did. It was talking about how inappropriate he was with the young women.
And he would take like a select few women.
So predatory and like disgusting, you know? That's the thing about those. You can live your life however you want to live, but it's like a lot of these cultish situations, I'm trying to choose my words wisely, like are a breeding ground for like just abuse in these young women and children, and it's like perpetuated then, and the boys are taught that this is how you treat it and this is how it is. And like, don't get me wrong, being someone who was raised on more traditional like values, I mean, I do see the benefit to some of this,
there's plenty of documentaries.
The starting theory here is not necessarily wrong.
Right.
It's how far you took it.
There's documentaries about your religion, and there's documentaries about my religion on all these platforms too. So it's like, it's just the way, like, however you want to look at it, whichever situation. But I thought it was crazy. Like, and then they're like, the way that they dress is very, I don't know. It's like, did you not, none of them realize that they're in a cult?
I don't think so, because when you're in it, you don't know.
Well, and then
they don't know
oldest
any
son,
other way.
Have you gotten to that part?
The scandal with the older son.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not any new news, but like, so the oldest son got in trouble when they were younger for doing things to his younger sisters and I think a babysitter.
There was somebody else in that. So that is the part that I'm on, where it's like they're talking about how the sisters came out, and that is what is like so sick to me, because it's obvious that these girls were like coached on what to say. None of these women were paid for anything, like, or any of it. Like, nobody received money except for the dad,
which is disgusting,
insane, right? And then like these poor girls, they go on with Megyn Kelly, so what is that, Fox News or whatever, and they're like interviewing them, and they're like, oh, well, we didn't even really know it happened until our brother told us, and, you know, this and that, and blah, 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 and, you know, so many other people have it so much worse, and they were just basically forced to go on live TV and minimize their trauma, whether it happened or not. God, if it happened and I found out that it happened and I had no memory of it happening, I feel like that would be
even worse.
I mean, to a degree, you know, a whole different type of trauma, you know? And so, and then they're on there like defending him, and they were forced to, and the one daughter's on there talking about how, like, yeah, if I hadn't, you know, been, you know, this and that.
Forced
and
to
then,
say these
like,
things.
How the dad, like, tricked him into signing this contract. It just, the whole thing is so messed up.
Oh, you're talking about the one with her and her husband at their wedding? They were, like, leaving to go on their honeymoon, and he was like, oh, yeah. And
it was a contract that they would dedicate the next 5 years of their life, which, again, they never received a penny for. She said for 7 years of her adult life, she was never paid. And they did, after the whole scandal came out with the brother, they had to separate the boys in the family from the daughters. So they canceled 19 Kids and Counting, and then they went after, like, an angle of going the older girls and their husbands. And again, they weren't paid for that. And it's just sick. Like, the whole thing is sick.
Well, and then she had to have her birth videoed.
Taped. Yeah.
And she was like, there was no room in there for anything.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many cameras, so many people, and like, it insane. And all they did was send that brother off to go build a house or something like that.
Yeah, and then they did it from an angle of like, oh, he's off serving, not he's a
P word.
A predator. Yeah. of sorts.
Because then whenever he actually got caught and is now in prison
Yeah.
it was so much more.
Yes, because they didn't address it in the beginning, and it was just swept under the rug.
And so he's like,
and the blame was then put on the girls to handle the situation, which is so fucked up. So fucked up.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you have to go on national television and tell them you're fine.
And be like, yeah, I'm good. It wasn't even that bad.
Actually, really, it was okay.
Yeah, like, it's cool. I mean, it's so sick. And to see the reaction on the daughter's face, because now she's on there with her husband.
And now she's like, I will not talk about it.
Yeah, she's just like, I refuse. And you can see just by the little micro movements in her face how traumatized she is by the whole situation.
Uh-huh.
It's just sad.
It is.
Makes me sad.
But next, you have something else.
Oh, are we going to talk about the AirPods?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, I gotta find it. Hunter thinks that I need to stay off the internet because like I said, am interested in TikTok theories. Or conspiracy theories. I'm not going to call them TikTok theories. Conspiracy theories.
That you have found on
that I have
TikTok.
Sometimes originate from something I found on TikTok. But I am the one who thinks it's weird that Siri is listening to us all the time and like your phone is tracking you, and I know that you can turn all this stuff off. I am also the weirdo that thinks that cell phone radiation is bad for you. And turns off my Wi-Fi router most nights that I remember. And and then Hunter gave me this Apple Watch a couple weeks ago because he was not interested in using it, and I find it really awesome, but I'm also having this moral dilemma because I'm like, oh my God, that's where I am in the country. It's tracking me all the time. It can read my heart rate. It can read these things. And which honestly, I had no evidential reason for believing too much of this, and then I came across this freaking TikTok talking about the information that your AirPods collect, which I don't have because I'm too broke to have them. And I lose the headphones. I just put another set of AirPods through the, not real ones, fake ones, the $20 Walmart ones through the
wash. Oh my God.
Yeah. So anyways, I came across this TikTok, and now I've got to dig it up because I'm not prepared right now. It was on Instagram, and please hold. I gotta find where the fuck it went. Here we go. I sent it from the podcast page on accident to Cassie. The creator is cultivate.elevate. And the TikTok is basically saying all the information that your AirPods collect, and it's very conspiratorial because there's no answers at the end. It's just like, ooh, where is this information going and what are they doing with it? But it basically, like, I didn't know this, but it can read like your freaking brain waves and shit too. And like, I never did watch the whole thing because I went down the Kardashian conspiracy theory next.
Okay.
But you should go to cultivate.elevate and watch this TikTok. We'll post it to a link to it and put it on our TikTok. But I'm curious how many people use AirPods and how many people are freaked out by this information. Like, am I the only one that thinks it's really freaking weird? Why do they need this information? What is it for?
Okay, so this TikTok is in the background playing like super mysterious music as he's talking about all of these things, right? But what he's talking about is literally just like so you buy AirPods, you go to set them up, you look at the terms of service.
Yeah.
It's all in the terms of service.
Which I understand that.
So like, you were already agreeing that all of this information is going to be sent back to Apple, and Apple is going to use this information to better improve their products.
Right.
Like, that is what all of that.
Why do they need your brainwaves, though?
it's like they don't need your brainwaves, but they're collecting the data of how well the AirPod read your brainwaves to then put in their health app to tell you how your brainwaves are working. So like the part of like, what are they doing with this information? They're using it to improve their product.
Right. Well, and the reason I picked this particular TikTok was because I don't necessarily, like I said before, believe there's anything nefarious. He alludes to the whole Neuralink and Elon Musk. And I do think it's a good example of how some like people will just believe anything they fucking read on the internet. Right?
Literally anything.
Like, it elicits an emotional response, and I am very gullible to that shit, for sure.
Well, while we're talking about Elon Musk and things on the internet and making things true or not, I have this article that I found. Where did I find it? And it's right here. It's on People magazine, so it has to be real.
Truth.
It's
100%.
Truth. And just the title got me. It drug me in. I actually haven't read the articles, but I'm going to read it now. So it's Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg seemingly agree to hold cage match in Vegas. And then it says, it's like the 2 dot thing. Mm-hmm. Send me location. And so it says Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg may be facing off in a cage match. The two tech titans have been going back and forth on social media after they seemingly agreed to fight each other in Las Vegas. The exchanges began earlier this week with a Twitter user posted about Meta's upcoming product that is rumored to compete with Twitter. Musk, who owns Twitter, responded to the tweet, "I'm sure Earth can't wait to be exclusively under Zuck's thumb with no other options. At least it will be sane." Was worried there for a moment. Another Twitter user warned Musk 51, "Better be careful. I heard he does jujitsu now." And then Elon tweeted, oh, that's just a screenshot. Hours later, Mark Zuckerberg posted a screenshot of the Twitter exchange in his Instagram stories with the words, "Send me location," written in big letters. Vegas Octagon, Musk tweeted late Wednesday evening, referring to the most popular location for Ultimate Fighting Championship matches.
That's hilarious. Is Rogan going to commentate it?
I would love it if
he
would.
So good. So is it true or not?
I don't know. I guess to be determined.
Millions.
It's not my job to give you the answers.
To verify.
It is my job to present the information to you.
So now I have to go down a rabbit hole and verify said information.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, I'm sure it'll be televised, and I'm sure they're going to charge people to watch.
Oh my God, I would pay for that. I'm not going to lie.
It would be a marketing.
Who do you think would win?
Zuckerberg, I think.
Do you?
He looks a little more nimble.
My vote's on Elon.
A little more agile. Elon has like this, like, maybe he knows this secret tactic to like
Elon would be doing like calculations on the mathematics and the velocity of the spin, and also he's like buddies with Rogan, so he probably does some jujitsu, UFC already, you know.
Yeah, he does look a little fluffy though. Like, I wonder if is it fluff or is it muscles?
It's probably muscles under fluff. That's what happens when you're bulking. Who knows? I think Elon would win myself.
What if they fought and what they won was each other's like if Elon wins, he gets Meta, and if Zuckerberg wins, he gets Twitter.
Oh God.
Or Tesla, SpaceX.
Ooh. I don't know, man.
Elon has a lot to take. Isn't he like one of the most wealthy men in the world?
Something. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't really care. He's got a lot of money.
I don't know much about him, to be honest with you.
The only thing I know about Elon, which is interesting to me, is he has like, isn't there like a Tesla robot now?
Probably.
I thought that there was.
I've seen the robots that like follow you around your house. I think that would be kind of cool for the salon.
To have a salon robot?
Yeah.
A little associate robot.
Well, just think about it. Like, you could just put in the color formula, and it has the color tubes in it, and it mixes it for you. And then it goes around with a little vacuum.
That's $1 million idea.
I know. I shouldn't have said it on the internet because I know somebody that has more money than me.
I hope you bleeped it.
I'm not going to.
We're looking for investors. You heard it here first.
There you go. Shark Tank. Bethany Frankel, I think you should invest. You know what? I think you could sell that engagement ring. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
Who the fuck is Bethany Frankel?
You know, I'm not quite sure. However,
another reason why reality TV
is
ruining us.
Bethany Frankel, where is your wedding ring? I think it's in this photo. Bethany Frankel wedding.
I mean, that is a way to bring AI into the salon because I don't know. It's just crazy. You keep seeing those like people that have the shampoo robots. Have you seen the robot that does eyelash extensions?
No,
oh my God,
I have
I
not.
guess that there's only one that's licensed for use, and it's in a salon in California. And it does a set of eyelashes 3 times faster than a human can, but it does still have to be
loaded up by a human
and monitored by a human being. But I saw that on somebody posted it.
So that's Bethany Frankel's engagement ring.
That looks like the window out of a fucking high-rise building.
It's right. So it's so big.
I wonder if you got like arthritis from wearing a ring that big. I wonder what it feels like.
I could never know.
That's like a 40 bazillion carats.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen or something. What else do we have?
That's all I can think of right now.
Oh my gosh.
What did we just
I just thought that conspiracy theory was so janky.
Which one?
The headphone one.
Yeah. No, and that's why I picked it in particular, because I'm like, oh my God, this would totally get me. Like, if I didn't like stop and think about it, I would be like, oh my God, what are they doing? You know what I mean? But then, that's where I was going with the Tesla robots thing, and circles around back to this, is he tries to allude at the end, like, Elon Musk wants to put a chip in your brain, blah, 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 which don't get me wrong, I have my own thoughts on that. But Elon Musk is also the only person who is out there talking about I shouldn't say the only, but one of the ones that gets the most eyes on him, that's saying how dangerous AI could be and blah, 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 blah. And so I don't necessarily think that Elon Musk is out there with these evil intentions of buying Apple and and like making Neuralink and AirPods take over the world and human beings at like brain chips or anything like that.
Right.
But because it's very easy to get in like a fear mindset with these things, like you could easily spiral on something like that, because the guy picked the right amount of music, he used the right words, he used the right like trigger points. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's almost like a lot of this BS out here is propaganda. Like, let's be real, but now there's the internet is just doing it for itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy for people to get sucked into some of these, and like I said, not even take the time to differentiate, okay, there's validity to this, but this is insanity here. You know what I mean? Like, maybe this is a good point, but then they just take it 30,000 degrees above and make it like Elon Musk is trying to take over the world. He's been conspiring with Steve Jobs, and now he's taking over. Like, I mean, come on, guys. But you put the right audio behind it, and people will believe anything.
Yep, you talk slow enough.
Make it enough parts, like
people will click.
Oh yeah.
Hairdresser news. They
NAHA.
announced the location of NAHA 2024.
Where is it going to be?
Orlando. We should go. I'm going to go ahead and manifest that we'll be there with fast foils anyway.
Oh, okay. Totally.
Ben, if you're listening to this, love you. I hope I can be there.
I mean,
but NAHA.
Yeah.
So for new listeners that may not be hairdressers, since we're definitely gonna get famous from talking about reality TV.
Totally.
I'm just kidding. And anyways, if you don't know what NAHA is, I am gonna tell you, because I googled what is NAHA. Because I know what it is, but I never knew like
where did it come from.
Yeah, like
it's the North American Hairstylist Awards.
Yes.
And where did it originate, Hunter?
Well, it's better known as NAHA. It's put on by Premier Beauty Associates. And it's an award ceremony that celebrates the works of the most talented hairstylists in North America. The coveted NAHA Award is considered the highest achievement of honor in the beauty industry, and the Professional Beauty Association is proud to uphold the tradition of giving recognition to the awe-inspiring collections created by these top artists. It's been going on for a very long time. I don't know. I didn't actually look up when it started, but yeah. I've seen photos of NAHAs like forever. Yeah. So, essentially you can do it yourself or you can do it with a team. And there are different categories. So there's avant-garde, barber of the year, editorial stylist of the year, educator of the year, which Nina Tulio, that's been on the podcast, she was nominated this year for educator of the year.
Congratulations, Nina.
I don't know if she won or not. I should have looked that up before we started recording. But then there's hair color, hair cutting, hairstylist of the year, inspiring salon of the year, makeup artist of the year, master hairstylist of the year, student hairstylist of the year, styling and finishing team of the year, and texture. And the texture winner is actually on the cover of this magazine.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay.
So that's what NAHA is. It's like high quality avant-garde editorial photos, collections created by one person or a team. And I think it's cool. And I think that we should also manifest that Ericka and I are going to create a NAHA
next
this year.
Year's winner for team of the year. Yay!
That's a little lofty of a goal. But maybe.
I mean, who knows? You're one of the 30 best hairstylists in the world, Hunter.
Oh my God, shut your mouth.
And I'm the best assistant out there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's a post. Did you see Gina Bianca's post about being bored in the industry?
No.
Yeah. I commented
what did it say?
On it from the podcast. I said, Ericka is.
What did it say? Tell me more.
It just was a picture of her, and she was like, is anybody out there feeling bored in the industry, feeling unstimulated, feeling this, feeling that, blah, blah, blah. I feel some change coming. And that she left it at that. And then she said, is anybody else feeling the same way? And I just had a moment of complete and utter transparency, and I was like, Me. And expand. I mean, nothing came out of that other than, like, I feel like you and I had a discussion behind the scenes about where I'm at in my career and what I'm looking for, like, moving forward. You know what I mean? For anybody that's listened to the podcast for more than 6 months can tell that I'm obviously on this journey of, like, I'm having a midlife crisis is what we decided as it actually is. But obviously moving across the country, like having my life blow up the way that it did once I got here and everything, I have been grateful to land in a place where I'm given space and to go through what I'm going through and understanding to know that I'm going through through something and, you know, and I just kind of have been feeling like I am bored behind the chair. It's not like I don't love doing hair, because I do love doing hair, and I'm reminded all the time why I love doing hair. But it's like...
And you're good at doing hair.
Yeah, and I'm better at doing hair when I'm enjoying doing hair. But when I'm bored of doing hair, I'm not as good of a hairstylist. I don't give the experience that I could. And I'm at this point in my life where there's only so much fucking faking it that I can do. You know what I mean? So I've taken the first step for me is going ahead and attacking this schedule. I'm going to work towards taking Saturdays off, get myself some time outside of the salon where I actually have the time to decompress. And, you know, I'm making some changes with my living situation, which is going to help me save money, which means that I'm going to have just less stress in general, and be able to recover some shit. But I just feel like we do as hairstylists, like, we have to always be on, and we have to always be happy and in a good mood and shoving our, like, wants and needs and desires and feelings. It was a good example of you putting yourself first, I think, this weekend, because you had that class that you were supposed to go to, and then suffering loss, which some people might be like, oh my God, it was a pet. But, like, if you don't know Hunter and his fucking animals, that, like, might as well been his fucking toddler that passed away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is how hard it was felt. And so I think it's toxic to not be honest about having bad days and not be honest about if you're feeling burnt out. And, like, I just want to be super clear that that's where I'm at. And I am trying to, like, pursue a little bit of other ventures. Not that I want to be done doing hair. I don't want to be done doing hair. I just, like, how did I explain it to Kayla? Like, I was like, I like this flavor, but I'm bored of this flavor.
Yeah, you want some spice.
Like, I need some spice and some sweet and some salt, and not just, like, my everyday flavor, you know? So I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but the reality of it is I'm single as fuck, and I need multiple streams of income, and I'm trying to figure that out because, like,
I thought you were about to just, like, make a dating profile just then. Like, no. I'm so single. If any of you straight men out there are also single.
If you are single and going to...
and wealthy.
Bring support and kindness and love into my life and not completely dismantle my whole thought process of myself as a human, then you're welcome. But until then, like, I genuinely don't really want to date. I just want to get, like, myself lined up and enjoy my life the way that I want to enjoy it. And then if someone comes along with that, like,
I'm still on the thought process, the train of, like, you should find someone that'll buy you a new set of tits. And then you can start dating. You know what I mean? Like, while you're on this, like, discovering yourself thing, you should just find a man that you can use and abuse.
That is very anti what I'm going for as a human being, okay? I am trying to be a self-sufficient. I bought my own titties. See, what was that song? I bought it. Destiny's Child. Bought my own house.
That's the generation gap right there. Because the first thing I thought of was Ariana Grande.
Oh. Yes, well.
I want it. I like it. Whatever she says, I got it. I bought it myself. Me. Yeah. I did it.
But yeah, so that post, I was like, oh, that's good. And I just think that, like, hairstylist, or being a hairstylist, is very passion driven.
Yes.
It's very, like, all of those things. And I just feel like it very much fit who I was when I got into this business. And then I wrapped my own identity in it. And then as my passion has gone through ups and downs and burnout has reared its ugly head and this and that I just, like, it has become somewhere along the line a job and not a passion.
It's a survival tactic.
It's a survival tactic. Well, my whole life, I'm realizing, it's coming to my attention that I have been in straight survival mode without even realizing how or when I got there. But it's completely changed the way I present myself as a person and how I act and how I treat people. I became very self-centered, you know what I mean? Which I kind of had to, because it was the only way I could get through my life, which I was barely doing for a while, you know? And I think finding that chiropractor and, like, getting, like, the sheer mechanics of my nervous system, like, working, like, I know there's still therapy that needs to be done and, you know, maybe some yoga and some breathing techniques to learn. But I already feel so much better, and I feel, like, confident in myself as a mom, and I feel confident in myself as a person, and, like, confident that I still have room to grow.
Right.
But
I will say, like, you talked about the chiropractor. Ever since you've gone, like, you found this person, it's literally, like, I see you every day at work. So, but I see you working, and then when we sit down to record, I, like, get to, like, see you and talk to you, and then I watch you
as you're editing.
As I'm editing. Yeah. And so, like, I feel like I got your body.
Hunter knows
what is
body. My body language?
Your body language down to a T. But, like, you can just see since you found the chiropractor, like, you're just more and more relaxed. And, like, you're not sitting here, you're sitting here. And, like, you're just calmer. Well, you're still not calm.
No.
And I don't think you would ever, you're capable of being calm. I just think your overall energy is always going to be nervous.
I don't think nervous, but sporadic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just kind of me. I'm just a random person who says shit before it's thought all the way through, you know, but.
My mom used to say, run it across your brain before you say it.
Well, and here I am, a mother, saying the same things to my own child. It's so crazy. Like, that's the hardest. The craziest part for me about having a teenager is, like, seeing my own personality traits in him and, like, knowing it's going to be in trouble.
You're like, oh, shit. We need to put a finger on this one right now.
See this one right here? We're going to deal with this because now I'm 37 and I know what that translates into in adulthood, you know, and I do really kind of feel like I feel like I'm in my 20s as far as, like, maturity wise.
Oh, my God.
I mean, jokingly, but, like, I just think
think about all of the, like, trauma you endured in your 20s, and you probably are in some way living in your 20s in your mind.
Well, and that's what it's interesting because my bestie told me, she was like, you need to read this book. I think you have complex PTSD. And I was, like, very much in denial of that. I was like, I don't have fucking PTSD. Like, I didn't go to war. Like, I know people who have seen things that are way worse than anything I've ever been through. But I actually read this little thing on Facebook this morning. It was like a snippet from a book about what it does to a young girl's brain if her dad is not around. And I was just, like, reading it, and I was like, God, this is so, like, I should be over this, you know? Which is just one more symptom of CPTSD is where you minimize what you've been through, and I do that my whole life. I'm like, it's not as bad as this. It's not as bad as that. It's not as bad as this, you know? And I'm like, okay, well, maybe not, but that doesn't mean it didn't affect my brain in some way, and that's okay, you know? So, you know, therapy.
Therapy.
BetterHelp,
if you want to sponsor us, we will put you to good use.
I did use BetterHelp once upon a time. I just, honestly, I had to stop doing it because I didn't have the money.
Yeah.
But now I've got insurance, so I do want to start doing it again, and I will.
Well, that's a good episode, I think, because we wrapped up everything of, like, why the hell is it different at the end.
Yeah.
And I liked that. So that's, I think, all we have for you.
Yeah. And then also, because we're kind of broadening this format, I guess, out to other things besides just hairstylists, like not
just generally what we're interested
in. So if you have somebody or a story that you think is interesting or conspiracy theory rabbit hole you think I should dig down and put my spin or angle on or my thought process, feel free to reach out. And then, yeah, we just want to really enjoy talking to whoever we feel like we're talking to, whether that's each other or somebody else.
And we will have, like, I'm sure another hairstylist guest.
Yeah, totally.
Before long, but we're just chilling and talking about whatever the hell we want to talk about because it's our show.
It's my show, and I'll do what I want to.
And if I want to cry, she's going to cry, whether she wants to
cry.
or not.
I don't know where you guys get this idea that I'm a crier. You're insane. Just gaslighting
as she's crying right now. Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. I think that's all we got for you.
All right. If you want to follow us on our social media journeys, I'm at Ericka Hunter on all the things. Our podcast is at Break Room Banter Pod on all the things.
I am Ericka the Redhead on all the things.
And if you want to go a step further to support our podcast, you can subscribe to our Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Break Room Banter Pod. Follow us on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, all the things. Until next time.
Bye. Oh, wait. You always have a seat at our table.
Bye.